Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming Channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today. We're going to be taking a look at the Twinning. After the video, if this helps you out at all, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my Final Fantasy XIV content. Starting off with the trash pulls in here, the first group has to be taken alone, as the door will not open until you kill it. The drones have an ability called auto cannons, which will be a very long line AoE. And then the Zagnow unit has a frontal cone that you can easily sidestep out of. After this group is dead, the door will open up and you'll proceed to the launch pad on the right side. That will shoot you to the next platform. The Minotaur will have many of the swing AoEs that we have seen before from these types of units. So you just want to keep an eye on when he's raising his weapon. 128 ton swing will be his 360 spin that can be interrupted or stunned. For the next group, the Surplus Kalia will do AoE attacks with every one of its normal attacks, so you'll want to make sure you're facing it away from the party. It will also have a very large cone AoE that it will use on a random party member, so everyone will need to reposition to avoid this. You'll then use the next jump platform to go to the next platform, and then the following jump platform to go to the boss. For the first boss, when he casts Augurim, this will be a large tank buster ability that would just need to be healed through. Beastly Roar will deal party-wide damage. When he stands on his back legs and whips out the sword, he will then put a target on everyone with number of swords 1 through 4. He will then launch AoEs at each party member based on what number they are. Every party member should group up at the north or south side of the platform and avoid standing in front of the ad cages, as these AoEs will break these cages, forcing you to fight multiple enemies. When he casts Pounce Errant, this will put another circular AoE on every party member, meaning you'll want to group up towards this. Will make sure that you avoid the AoEs hitting the outside barriers. When he casts Charged Eradication, you'll want to group up on the targeted party member. As soon as this hits the ground, he'll begin casting it again, but a second different party member will be marked, and you'll want to move out of the AoE left behind by these hits. He'll then stand back up on his back legs and begin using the line AoEs again, so you'll want to group up towards the north and south to avoid these breaking the cages. Moving into the next area, the Vitalicized Ixalion has a circular AoE he'll throw out on random party members. And the Reptoid will use a Berserk ability, causing him to hit harder. He also has a small frontal cone you'll just want to sidestep out of. For the second boss, when he casts Thunder Beam, this will be a targeted tank buster that will just need to be healed through. Electrical Discharge will be a very fast cast that will summon multiple circular balls on the platform that will explode after a short period, so you'll want to just move away from them. When he moves to the center of the platform, begin casting Laser Blade. He will do multiple line AoEs across the entire platform, so you'll want to just move into the open areas. Allagan Thunder will put an AoE on every party member, so you just want to spread out to not overlap these. He will then combine Allagan Thunder along with Laser Blade and the circular AoEs, so you'll need to watch your placement to avoid getting hit with as many of these as possible. Moving into the next area, there will be a few cone AoEs that you'll want to make sure you're avoiding, but most of them will just have tank buster abilities that you'll want to probably use a tank cooldown to reduce some of the damage coming in, as there will be quite a few. In the next area, the Boil Busters have donut AoEs, so you'll want to try and group them as close together as possible so that the opening in the AoEs overlaps. If you do not have a white mage that is constantly stunning these, then you may want to specify a certain one to focus down to kill them as soon as possible to reduce the donut AoEs that are going out. And you'll want to alternate your stuns if you can yourself to avoid some of the damage. For the final boss, you will want to watch the outside of the platform, as a lot of the AoEs from this fight will come from the outside. When you cast Magitech Crossray, you'll want to avoid standing in front of the devices, as they will come out and do a time stop ability, and then shortly after detonating, doing damage to anyone who is caught in them. Defensive Array will summon these same devices on the outside of the platform that will again do the time stop ability, followed by a line AoE all the way across the platform afterwards. Artificial Gravity will summon multiple circles on the platform that will begin small but grow in size and then explode for an okay amount of damage. Rail Cannon will just be a tank buster ability that needs to be healed through. Defensive Array again will summon 2 devices on the outside of the platform that will do a small time stop AoE, followed by their long platform wide line AoE that he will combine with Shattered Crystal, which will be circular AoEs around every party member. So you'll want to not stand in front of the devices to avoid their line AoEs, and then also spread out a little bit to avoid the circular AoEs overlapping. He will then follow this up with High Tension Discharger, which will be a party-wide damaging ability that just needs to be healed through. At this time, the boss's mechanics will start to repeat themselves, and he will start combining several mechanics together. And this should be it for the twinning. I hope this helped everyone out. If it did, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you on the next one.